Hello, welcome to TRDR.tv. This is the OBS tutorial, how to install open broadcasting software on a PC or with Windows. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So this is the OBS software, but I'm going to go ahead and pretend to start over from the very beginning. So let's go ahead and let's open up the internet. So this is where obviously you're going to be able to find the open broadcasting software. This is our website, TRDR.tv, and this is the homepage right here. So if you want to find a link to the open broadcaster software, just go ahead and scroll down to the bottom, and you can see here that there is a link that says how to live stream, and when you go ahead and you click on that, it's going to take you to a link with a script description of how to or a written description of how to broadcast. So you see here you have some recommended specifications for your computer, and then the broadcasting software. So first of all, this is going to show you exactly where to download the software, so obsproject.com/download, and that's going to take you basically right here to this page or to this website. So right now obviously I'm using Windows, but I'm going to go ahead and apologize because this computer is really not. It doesn't have the correct specifications, the correct hardware to actually be able to stream. It barely has the capability to be able to record. The only reason I'm using this is because we've been getting a lot of requests for how to install the software on a PC as opposed to with Macs. So this is why I have this laptop and I'm trying to create the tutorial. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So first of all, I tried to do it with this, the OBS Classic first, but I really honestly was having a lot of trouble with audio and with video. It may just be my computer that I was having trouble with, but it may be the software as well. So I recommend definitely going for the OBS Studio. So the OBS Studio is what I did obviously with my with a Mac, and that's what I did the other tutorial on. And I also downloaded it for the Windows as well. It's also available for Linux if you want that. But anyway, I highly recommend getting the OBS Studio just because it's better software. It's much better. So yeah, once you click here, you download. You may end up needing to download a DirectX. I know that I had to just because this is like a new computer and it's there wasn't very much on here. So basically, once you get all of that downloaded, it's going to show up like this. So this would be the open broadcasting software. And you can see it kind of has like a picture of what is actually going to be recorded using this. So when you first download the OBS, you're only going to have one scene here. It's going to say scene, and that scene has no sources. So I'm going to, a little bit later on in the video, I'm going to explain kind of about the scenes and the sources. But for right now, let's just go into the settings. So that button is just right here. There's also another way to go. I think you can do file, settings, exactly. But I prefer to just click the easy route right here, settings, and then that should take you to a whole page filled with different settings. So first of all, let's get started on general. Obviously, you should choose your language of preference. Mine is English. You have two different options here, the dark decolor or the default color. This is the default. The darker one is just kind of obviously a little bit darker. And so it's like a little more black kind of as opposed to the white. So just, I guess, whatever, depends on your preference. Let's move on to do something a little bit more actual, like regarding the streaming. And so here, basically, when you first download it, it says streaming services. So this is what it's set to. You're going to want to go ahead and you're going to change that to a custom streaming server. In here, As you can see, there's a section for URL and the stream key. Both of those can be found on the TRDR.tv website. So basically what this is the URL is explaining, or I mean, is the URL here that you're putting in is almost the TRDR.tv streaming URL. So every single person is going to put in the same URL as long as they're streaming to TRDR.tv. So let's go ahead and I'll show you where to find that. So we go back to the TRDR.tv website, and we're still in this how to broadcast website. So what I'm going to need you to do, or what we're going to do, is we're going to scroll down a little bit. So you see general, you see the output settings, and you come down here to broadcast settings. So you can see here, yeah, it says here number 1, change the stream type to custom streaming server. That's what we just did. Number 2 is the URL. So it starts here with the RTMP. I kind of got the space in there. I don't want that. Oh, I did it again. And there we go. So it starts with the RTMP and ends with live. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Take that and paste it into the URL just like that. And then here is the stream key. So basically what the stream key is that is your personal code or your personal key, which is going to allow, it's basically going to allow the software to know what is what your account is. So basically this is, if somebody finds your stream key, for example, say you do a video and your stream key is on the video, for example, like what I'm doing right now, then somebody can eventually take your stream key and they can stream to your account. So you need to make sure that you keep that kind of confidential. I'll show you what to do in case it ends up going live. You know, you can generate a new one. So we'll do that right now. So I'll show you where to find it. So basically, since I'm logged in, my stream key is going to show up right here. There we go. So that is my stream key, and there's also a secondary place you can find it. So let's go to stream. In case you're not logged in, or I mean, I guess you'd have to log in order to do this. But yeah, so this is just the second place to find it. So make sure you go to there to stream, the little play button right next to your name. Scroll down to the bottom, and you can see it says your stream key right there. So here we can see that I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that. That's the same key that was there before. And then once I'm done with this show, and once I'm done recording, I'm going to click here and generate a new stream key. So that way I have a new stream key tied to my account. And you have to make sure that obviously you enter that new stream key in here every time that you generate a new one, or else it's not going to actually stream to your account. So make sure you kind of keep that a secret, and if it gets out, generate a new one, and then update obviously this page every time that you generate a new one. So let's move on to output. So here in output, basically if you want to get a little bit more advanced, you can kind of change this output mode from simple to advanced, and it kind of gives you some more options. There's a couple other YouTube videos, tutorials that'll help you out, but for our basic needs we don't need that right now. Video bitrate, basically video bitrate 1000 is really low. Like I said before, this computer is really bad. I'm not actually going to use this for streaming, so that's why I have it set so low. Is I just wanted to see if it would actually be able to stream, and it did work right before I started the show. But we'll go into this in a second. Anyway, so the video bitrate that you want to have is going to be at lowest 1,800. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to the other site, you know, the how to stream guide, and basically you can see here in the output settings that there is it basically breaks down your pixelation based upon what bitrate you're going to put. So yeah, I had 1000, which is 480p, so that's really, really bad. Like I said, please don't put it down that low. People are just going to be mad, and they're not going to be able to actually see kind of what you're doing. So I recommend the base at 1800. So that's obviously going to be 720p up until 2500, 2500. And then you have 1080p as well. If you have a really good computer, you can feel free to do the 1080p, which maxes out at 3500. So 3500 is going to be the maximum video bitrate that you should put. I wouldn't put anything more than that because, from what I understand, if you put it higher, there's going to be certain people whose computers can't handle that sort of pixelation, and so they're not even going to be able to pick up the stream. And this is obviously going to cut back on the amount of people that that you're going to be able to reach. So you shouldn't do that. Why would you hold yourself back? Anyway, so I'm going to set this back to 1000 because I'm going to try to stream a little bit later. Like I said, you want in between 1800 and 2500. Here is the recording path. So this is going to tell you basically where your videos are added to your computer once you're done recording them. So like, for example, I'll show you right now. Mine are going right here. So this PC to videos, and you can see that actually these are all the videos I've already done. And this is the one that's going right now. So it's a cone because it's still in the process of being recorded. And so yeah, that's going to stay like that until I'm done. Basically, the next thing that you want to change is you want to change the recording format. So basically, what I think it's originally set to is FLV. You want to set that to MP4. It's just, I think, easier and more compatible with users on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And yes, eventually, obviously, you're going to get more of a reach with the MP4 as well. So let's go on to audio. So audio here we have, this was the toughest part for me, was the audio. So let's see. Basically, we'll start with the sample rate. So you're gonna need to get kind of acquainted with your computer at this point. So just at least for the audio part. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Control Panel. So I'm just typing this in the search bar that you can find on like any sort of settings process. And let's see, here we go. We're going to go into hardware and sound. So once we're here in the hardware and sound section, you go to sound, and you should get a little box that pops up. There we go. So now I'm going to take this guy down, and so yeah, we're set up here with this. So playback is basically where you have the music coming from, or not just music, but also the sound. So for example, I have casque, which is headphones, or I have the haut-parleur, which is like speakers. Obviously, there's a little picture of a speaker and there's a picture of headphones. So basically, you want to set this. I set this as my default device because I want the sound coming into my headphones, so that, like, for example, when I'm recording, I'm not going to get that playback. But that's completely up to you. For example, say you have multiple sound devices, like you have. You want, for example, your music to be playing out of your speakers, but you want the sound from your charting software to come from your headphones. So we'll get into this in a little bit more in a second. But for the sample rate, what you need to do is you need to come here to the recording devices, and you can see that I have my microphone set to my default device, and it's kind of going up a little bit and down when I start to talk loudly, and so. Let's go ahead, go to microphone, and you can go here to properties. Once you come here, you can go to advanced, and you can see that it's set to 44,100 hertz. And so that obviously translates into 44.1, I think it's kilohertz. And so yeah, that's the one that you want to use as your microphone of the sample rate. I really only think that should be used, the 44.8 for like really, or the 48 kilohertz for like really good microphones. But yeah, like I said, you can just check that way to see what hertz your microphone uses. Channel set to stereo, desktop audio device, like I was saying before. So this one, I have it set. I want it, the first desktop audio device should be probably your default device. You can also click default, and it should be the same thing as casque because they're set to default here in the system. but I like to just have it set so that I know exactly where the sound's coming from, basically, you know. So the desktop audio device is going to be my headphones. My desktop audio device number 2 is my speakers, and then my here is obviously the speakers, just so that I can make sure whatever sound comes out, if it comes out of my headphones, if it comes out of my speakers, it's going to get recorded, you know. So that's what we're going for here. And then for the second one is for the third is the mic. So this is going to be your main microphone that you use. Obviously, some computers are going to have multiple microphones. I'm just using a bad laptop, so I just have the one microphone, and that's going to be the same thing. Obviously, it's up to you. You know, you can just use a plug-in for this certain one, but you should set this to the microphone that you want to use to record for OBS. Let's go down to video. And video, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to change anything right now because I'm currently in the process of recording, so it's not going to let me change anything. I would leave your canvas resolution and your scaled resolution, leave it as it is when you download the program. I changed it around a little bit to try to stop my computer from lagging a little bit when I actually did the streaming. I'm not sure that actually helped, and so like I say, just leave it as it is when you download it. The one thing you're gonna have to change here is the downscale filter. So I think it's bicubic or bicubit, but yeah, you need to change that to bilinear. So yeah, it's bicubic. When you first download it, change that to bilinear. Common FPS value, that's gonna be your frames per second, and that should be set to 30. I had it set to 10, like I said, because I have a really, really bad computer, and I wanted it to try to actually be able to stream. So yeah, you should set it to 30. If you have a really, really good computer, maybe you can set it to 60. That's kind of something that you can mess around with. I think 30 is fine, though. I don't think that you're going to need anything more than that. Here we have a couple extra options, hotkeys, so that way you can set start streaming, stop streaming, or start recording, stop recording to a button, so you don't have to keep opening up OBS every time you want to do something. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to apply these changes, and I'm going to hit OK. And so now you can see basically that that I have everything set up, and so you can see that, you know, that the mic is picking up my headphones, and you know, let's see if it'll pick up a little bit Hotel California as well. So I think that what I'm going to try to do is come here and play a little bit just to make sure that you can see that the desktop audio is actually picking it up. And so let's go ahead and let's do this, see if we can. So there we go. I'm going to turn the volume down just so I can hear myself speak. Turn down, yep, and see, you can see it's oscillating right there. It's kind of going, it's picking it up, and I changed the volume here. Obviously, you want the mic to be louder than the music because the music is not as important. The next thing, basically, that I'm going to be talking about, I have to switch over to a different software to download. To record, so that I can show you how to add and change the scenes. Because right now, if I change the scenes, since I'm recording this with the OBS, it's going to change what you guys see. So for example, right now it's set to desktop, and it's set to display capture, so that way it displays, or it captures my whole my whole display, my whole office, my whole desktop, excuse me. So basically, if I want to switch it, for example, to green screen, I'm going to turn this music off for a second. If I want to switch it to green screen, then you guys are going to see an entirely different thing based upon what I have set up in the sources. So I'm just going to switch to green screen to kind of give you guys an idea of what your viewers will see once you switch to something like this. So there we go. As you can see, there I am. My computer's really bad. You can tell now with the picture and how my lips are moving. The third one, obviously, this is going to show you what happens if you don't have any sources, but you switch to it. It's basically just going to go black. You can't see anything, and so it's going to be like that. You can still hear my voice because the audio automatically picks up. All right, well, so what I just did is I just switched to a different recording program so that I can make sure to kind of show you how to set this stuff up without it actually switching back and forth. So like I said before, you know, it switches to the green screen like that. this is kind of what you guys saw as I switched back and forth. But obviously, you know, you can change the picture a little bit with this thing. But if you just go to scene, you can see that the whole thing turns black. It's because I have no sources in here, and so that's one of the things you just need to watch out for. So you need to make sure that you have sources in here when you're recording, or else you're just going to get this black screen. As you can see, though, it's still picking up the audio, so that's not the problem. The audio is fine, it's just the video that doesn't work. So let's go ahead and let's go back to this desktop. And you can see that I'm using the display capture to kind of set this up, so let's go ahead and let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and, in order to add a new scene in here, you click on this little plus button. We'll just leave it called scene 1 for now. And so you go into here, you can see there's no sources in scene 1 right now. And so let's go to add a source. So let's try to do the green screen first. What you're going to do is you're going to add an image in the background, and so obviously this can be any image, you know, it can be an office, it can be whatever really you want to add as the background, something funny or yada yada yada. Where are my dates and downloads? There we go. So I'm going to add this, and you can see here that you can now kind of manipulate it to fit that whole size of this of the recording. And so as you can see here, now it's just that, and that would be what was recording if I was actually recording right now or streaming. And so let's go ahead and let's add the little the camera. So now we come down here and we go to video capture device. So that's going to pop up. You click OK. And so yeah, here we have is the UCam, and there we go, the picture of me. So I'm going to click OK. And as you can see here now, there is a picture of me, and there's also the picture of the wave in the background. So one of the things that you need to make out, you need to watch out for is that in case, basically you need to watch the order that they're in down here, because if, for example, say image 1 is above video capture 1, that means that the image is going to be above the video capture device on the actual screen, so it's going to mess up the order of things, and you need to make sure that obviously the video capture device is on top of the image so that you actually look like you're in the image. So I'll kind of give you an idea of what that looks like. So if I switch it, for example, if I put the image 1 on top of the video capture device, then you disappear, and that is because the image is taking up the top slot, and the video capture device is still there, but it's underneath the image, and so you don't really have it. So let's go ahead and let's put that back. There we go. So now let's try to do the green screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on video capture device 1. I'm going to go to I'm going to go to filters, effect filter, right click, add, and then go down to chroma key. Just leave it as chroma key. Here you can kind of choose your color. Obviously we have a green screen, so I'm going to leave it as green, and now you can see it's kind of gray. You can adjust the color, so if it all the way is down to 1, the similarity is not going to actually change the green screen. If I go all the way the opposite way, you can see that I kind of like disappear, so that's not good. That's not what you want. What I found was perfect was like right here, like in between like 400 kind of. So let's go ahead and let's close that. And so now you can see here that it actually, the green screen kind of got rid of all that stuff, so it looks like I'm actually in the wave now. So that's just how you would set that up. And then obviously if you wanted to do like a desktop one, we can do scene 2. So now it's black again because there's no sources. Go into here, we go for a display capture. And yeah, so if you go here, obviously I only have one display. But if you have like multiple screens, you're going to probably get multiple choices here, so that way you can decide which screen you're going to actually record off of. I'm going to click OK, and unfortunately, like I said, my computer is not good enough to actually get 2 scenes going with display capture, so it's basically the same exact thing that I set up here, you know, like it's the exact same setup, it's just not showing up because my computer is not very good. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And then you can see here in the desktop you can actually, I think, make a couple. You want to make sure that you capture the cursor, because then that way you have the mouse in there. And then in addition to that, I guess some of the next things you need to figure out is basically just like how to do like the audio. So here is the audio mixer. As you can see, the mic auxiliary is kind of oscillating because obviously I'm speaking right now and it's picking it up. I have nothing else going right now, no desktop audio, so that's not picking anything up. But let's say, for example, that I did want to put some of the audio in there. So it should be picking it up because I set up those settings before. But let's go ahead and let's just make sure. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the Hotel California song going on. Let's go back here. Let's shut that kind of down. And obviously, awesome. So it is picking up the desktop audio, and you can kind of mess with the volume a little bit. Obviously, you want the mic to be higher than your desktop audio so people can actually hear you. But there's a couple different little things that you can come in here, like if you want to do like the number of tracks and down mix to mono, yada yada yada. This is more high, like different kind of stuff that you can use if you're trying to record certain things that are a little bit more advanced than others. So I would check out the other YouTube videos. Basically, it's all set up for you to record now. So go ahead and start streaming on TRDR.tv. I would start to stream right now, but I know that it's not going to pick it up on this computer. I just tried it and it worked on. Excuse me. Let me turn this off. So I tried it before and it is streaming, so that's not a problem. It's just that this computer, like I said, is really bad. So everything should work out. The recording did the same thing, like once I'm done recording, the video shows up here, so everything is working out well. And I wish you the best of luck with your recording and your streaming. I hope to see your show on TRDR.tv. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial video. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.